Hey everyone, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora and on today's video we are tackling so much content. Like this is probably going to be a little bit longer than most of my videos just because it took me 2 days to do. Like we are going to be talking about transitions today, road placement, an improved SKYLINE build that is actually a perspective, and we're also going to be doing a gas station and so much more. So before we get started, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that like, subscribe, and notify button if you want to see more content like this in the future. We are going to be using a crud ton of servers, film projector, and diner neon signs, LCD TVs for the SKYLINE. So if you are somebody who can't get as many as we're using today, don't worry. Join my Discord server, which can be found in the video's description, and we have free treasure islands with all of these items on there that you can raid for absolutely free. So if you're struggling with items just in general too, we have themed treasure islands like a city core theme, we have a cottage core theme, and so much more. Not to mention you get to make some friends on the server too. A lot of our Animal Crossing community members are on my Discord server, so definitely go check it out if you haven't. I've also already done a SKYLINE video on my channel, but this was before 2.0, and I have made some slight improvements to just the overall structure of this. However, if you want to go check that out, feel free to. One of the most important things I want to talk about SKYLINEs today, especially when you're doing perspectives like this, there's absolutely no set way to do this. It's all about item layering and cluttering to give the illusion that this is a further away SKYLINE. So if yours doesn't turn out exactly like mine, don't stress out, because all SKYLINE perspectives are just gonna turn out differently each time you make them. Like every time I make a SKYLINE, it's not the same way. It always turns out slightly different, or I make my own personal changes to it. So I just wanted to put that out there. If it doesn't look like mine, don't stress it. Your main goal right now is to clutter with a bunch of servers and different items. You could even add in other items to the SKYLINE also that I didn't include today. There are so many different ways to include your own personal twist onto the builds that we do on my channel. This build literally took me almost 24 hours to do, so there's absolutely no way I can release the whole entire footage of this. There is going to be transitions. I'm going to put this out there. I definitely recommend slowing the footage down as you need to. You can do that on YouTube by clicking the 3 little dots on the video and just mute the audio, so obviously it doesn't sound weird when I'm talking, but that will help you kind of like figure out where things are being placed. My original SKYLINE video is a little bit slower and easier to keep up with, but yeah, I just want to put this out there. There's just literally no way I can slow the footage. But if you do need slower help and just slower content in general, I definitely recommend checking out my streams. I do stream here on YouTube, but right now I haven't been streaming due to losing a family member recently. So I'm just trying to like process that still. So bear with me. I promise I am returning to streaming soon. But I just needed, like a little mental break to take care of myself. The SKYLINE build takes 3 levels to make, so all 3 available levels that we get. Sadly, the 4th level glitch has been patched, so we can't add any more height to this, but that is why most of my city core builds now use only 1st level. I want to make sure I have plenty of height for perspectives and just my city core builds in general, so you're going to notice now, ever since 2.0 came out, that majority of my city core is going to be flat, which is not a bad thing. If you hate terraforming, then that's excellent news for you if you're recreating stuff. But yeah, I really don't understand why we didn't get the 4th level glitch in the 2.0 update, because I mean, like, why do we have the option to terraform a 4th level if we can't even get up to it? Like, nobody's gonna want an empty piece of terraform on their island. Like, that is not aesthetic at all. So hopefully we get that 4th level in a surprise update, or maybe in the next Animal Crossing game. I don't know, but I was really disappointed. I also want to add that I've changed my mind so many times on this build. I actually really struggled with how I was going to transition from that SKYLINE. At first, I was terraforming a highway perspective in front of it. I actually ended up removing that to do a slightly different approach. So I will transition to how it kind of looked in case you want to use this idea, but I'm just throwing this out here. I did not keep this, but maybe you'll like it if you don't have space for the other build that I ended up settling for. Something many of you ask me is, how do I plan my islands? And the answer is, I don't plan them. I just go with the flow and hope for the best. And sometimes it doesn't always work out, but for the most part it does. And I just wanted to put that out there, that sometimes coming in without a plan is what's going to help you find the motivation to build. You'll surprise yourself. For example, on today's build, I was like, I'm probably going to make this SKYLINE for a video and not keep the island, because I've been struggling with burnout. And now I have finished 1/4 of the island already. Like, I'm having a blast with this. And this is like the same kind of grind I had with my castle island. Like, I did not expect to enjoy this. Like, this was just supposed to be a tutorial updated video for you. And now I am working on getting this island out. Like, I am very excited about this build, and I hope y'all love it too. So the highway I'm doing right now is actually a recreation from the Kidcore highway that we did on a previous video, but this time we're not making it Kidcore themed. We're also going to make some improvements. The original build was inspired by WickerIsland on Instagram, so make sure you go check them out, and I'll have them linked also in the video's description. And I just loved how they made this beautiful highway perspective, and it totally suits the vibe that I'm going for, so I absolutely had to recreate it for the realistic nighttime city. So also, speaking of realistic city, I want to add that this is actually the current island for all of the realistic builds that we have been doing. I obviously cannot fit every single realistic build that we have done so far on my channel on one island. So I've decided to do all of the realistic builds on a series of islands. I'm going to do ones that will suit the realistic nighttime city best. Then I'm going to do some on my tropical city, and then I'll do some on my New York city, and so on. That way y'all can see every single build that we have done on the channel, even with some minor improvements if that is necessary, and also just how to include them onto your own personal island too. I've been really enjoying just trying to make my islands feel more realistic lately, so that's why I've decided to do this approach, which means yes, we're probably gonna have to restart the tropical city. I know, but yay, if you've been following me for a while, you know I restart a bajillion times, so what is new about this? But you get a more realistic vibe tropical out of this, and some more realistic city builds too, so don't complain, it'll work out. But now we're just gonna go ahead and decorate this highway. I actually plan to do a perspective to make it look like there is a tunnel going through this highway level that we are gonna be working on. So I don't have that transition in today's video, but you will see it on the next video. I'm gonna be recording as much of my play as possible. So there will be a ton of transitions, obviously, because it's hours and hours of gameplay, but then you get to see how I've transitioned. I didn't get to finish my Japanese realistic series a long time ago, before 2.0, due to just some personal stuff going on in my life. It was just too many projects on my hand. I got stressed and overloaded. So to make up for that, I want to add that this, by the way, all the layout that we're doing can work for other city core themes as well. So if you're just doing like a tropical city, you can totally steal the layout for this. This would also work on even Japanese cities. So I just want to throw that a lot of our builds can work for all city core themes, as long as you make the appropriate code edits for it and just decor too. I'm just doing a very traditional urban styled city on this. Like, there's pretty much no theme, I want to say, besides just making it feel realistic. Like, it's not really like a core theme, you know? So hopefully that helps you be able to, you know, make the transitions to match your actual island theme. My decorating process, of course, takes forever because I sit there and I think about my items and what I want to use. So there is going to be transitions, but after we finish that little construction spot, like the road is being worked on, I'm going to try to actually make it look like the other side of it is kind of blocked off for more construction areas. And then we're just going to add more details and decorations to this. I'm actually going to make this part of the town kind of like the city outskirts. I'm also going to be using a lot of trash core elements just because they're my favorite items. Oh my gosh, I just love trash bags. Like, I think they're the superior items of, you know, city core and Animal Crossing. Just going to throw that out there. I have a trash addiction. And we're going to make a alleyway spot, and I'm just going to like cover that in with trash. I'm putting my house next to it because I am the trash queen. And the inside of my house is going to be full of trash. Maybe not, but I might try to decorate the inside of my house because I have the skyline in the back, so I might be able to use like the cityscape wallpaper. That's if I feel inspired enough to actually do my house for once, because I usually don't. So with that being said, if I don't have any inspiration to do that, I'm just gonna like make it a abandoned house and just like fill it up with trash. So I went ahead and moved my house, also placed the inclines where I needed them, also added some more decorations to it. We'll do walkthroughs as I progress this, so don't worry if you're trying to get the decoration layout too, it will be shown. And I always do usually a final walkthrough of my builds as well. So over here, I'm just like making this into a cozy nook spot. It's just gonna be full of different trash items because those are great fillers. And then on the other side of my house, that's where the alleyway is gonna be. And then I'm gonna have another townhouse styled build like I did with the house on that side with a villager house, and then I'm going to do just another villager home behind that to kind of do like a tiered layer effect without having to use another incline, just to kind of like make this feel like a cozy layered neighborhood area. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do from transitioning from this yet, but of course I will, you know, just wing it, hope for the best, and we'll go from there. So I'm not really sure again like what the left side has in store, but I am determined to put like my Walmart probably around this part of town, and maybe just start on a shopping strip after. Again, not quite sure what's in store for that, but I am going to try to incorporate as many of our realistic city core builds onto this, as well as my other themes too. So here is our alleyway, and also where I've started to decorate for the villager home. Did some graffiti on that concrete, and then we go through here on this tiny little nook to the actual highway perspective, and this is like how I ended up decorating it. Where the empty spot is, that's where my 7-Eleven is going to be. I might change this in the future, I'm not quite sure. I feel like, you know, having a gas station right by the highway is kind of like ideal, so maybe we'll do a McDonald's near here too. I'm not quite sure, but that is how my skyline looks from this perspective. I'm just really excited with how all of this is looking. Like, I haven't felt so excited about a city core build in a long time, and I've just had a lot of fun with this, like using a ton of lanterns and just capturing as much illumination as I can at nighttime has been absolutely fun. For my 7-Eleven, I literally just recreated one of my older builds from my Instagram. I might change this to make it feel a little bit more modern. I'm not quite sure yet. If that does change, I'll definitely post a video of it. I mean, there is several different styles of gas stations that I want to do regardless. Even if it doesn't happen on this island, I want to make one on my other city core themes too. But I just thought that this vibe that we did from, you know, my previous islands suited this new theme best, just by the style of it. So I just wanted to put that out there. You can totally change this out for a different style if you want to. Now I'm just making the 7-Eleven parking lot over here, and I'm just going to do a quick transition because the decor that I used for this is pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to show you too how I transition at the edge of my map, and we're also going to be adding onto the skyline in the very backside of this too, to just kind of like make it feel more realistic. I don't have that footage actually shown because it's the same method that we used in the beginning of the video, so if you need to rewatch the beginning of the video, definitely do so. Again, there's no set way to do a skyline. It's all about just item layering, stacking the servers on Terraform, manipulating different items to look like buildings from further away. So I do want to let you know that there won't be footage of this, but you will get to see how it looks as we transition. I also want to add that the parking sign I found under criteria search, and there is another one from a creator code that I'm still trying to hunt for. It looks really realistic, and once I find that code, I'll add it into the video's description. But it is a really nice parking sign, but I wanted to add some more illumination, so I ended up customizing the sign there to have it. Next, we're going to work on the transition from the edge of my map. So this is how I ended up transitioning. I kept it really simple, obviously, because I'm limited on space, and now I'm just going to add some finishing details to this location as we prep to expand that skyline in the distance. Next, I'm going to layer the edges of the map with safety railing. I absolutely love this item for city core. If you haven't used it yet, definitely invest into it, as it takes half a square and it's just a game changer, especially when you're working at the edge of your map. And now this very long and humongous build is finally done. So let's go ahead and do a quick walkthrough. So here is the expanded out highway overlooking our 7-Eleven. Again, I might change the style of the 7-Eleven. I'm not quite sure, mostly because I just feel like this style suits the vibe overall better. Then over here is the construction site of our highway. And then now we're gonna make our way towards our perspective. So here is our perspective, the first part of it. I really wish we had another item kind of like server in Medieval Wall. Imagine if we had that and it was a legit skyline that we could stack on top of each other. And it came in different styles like you would see on city skylines or like brownstone versions. That would be incredible for my New York theme. But again, Nintendo hates us. There are so many great ideas that they could implement into this game, but they just refuse to. But Pocket Camp gets all the good stuff. It's just not fair. Anyways, for what we have, I think we did a great job capturing the skyline illusion of a big city outskirts in today's video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Hope this video brings you a ton of inspiration. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching and have a horrible day. I'll see you next video.